Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing another repair on an older tractor. I just wanted to show you guys this. I don't know if you'll be able to see it because my shop is not that big, but I got a new Diamondback step through hybrid bike, and that's going to be my next e-bike project. Got the motor kit up there, and I spent the last few hours before sunup, before it was time to actually go to work, working on wiring and figuring out where I'm going to mount racks and all the things I'm going to do to build it out. Because if you all watch my other channel, eBiker, E-B-I-K-E-R, go check it out and subscribe. That's Ellie, and I make everything custom, from the handlebars I welded together, the rear rack, the hitch, the whole nine. So I got a new project, and if you want to see how that goes, I'm going to be making some videos for that channel about my new Diamondback. But anyway, today's project is on this 1950s Allis-Chalmers 716H, and they sure don't make them like this anymore. It's got a Kohler engine in it. I want to say it's a 9 or a 10 horse, I don't remember, but what we have so far is zero spark. The customer brought it to me. He put a new starter on it. He put a new key switch on. I don't know what all he did to it, but he was trying to fix this thing up, and he got tired of it, sick of it, all the hours he was putting into it, and he brought it to me. Now, I've already done a bit of stuff on this, but I wanted to show you guys. I don't know if you're going to be able to see at all, but we've got no spark at all. That's why we've got the spark boot off here. We had a tester on there. That's how we know we didn't have any spark. The starter solenoid is bad, so I just went to the store and purchased another starter solenoid. This is going to be kind of a long video because it's for the customer as much as it is for you guys. So I just went to the store and got another solenoid, because if you want to know if a solenoid's bad, old school way, grab 2 screwdrivers and cross the post. Top post and bottom post will make a connection, send power to the starter. If that works, you know you got a bad solenoid. Now, what I do know, and again, it's sunny out here in Florida today. It's 87. The other day it was 40 something. It's March of 2022. So when I'm running down electrical problems, the first thing that I always go by is my handy dandy test light. If you don't have one of these and you plan on working on anything electrical, do yourself a favor, go spend $5. Even if you get it from Harbor Freight, which is where this one came from, it was $5 or $6. These things are freaking invaluable, because you hook it right to the negative of the battery, and then whatever you touch that has power to it will light up. See, I don't know if you can see that, but it's lighting up right now. This is the positive power wire from the battery straight to the solenoid. So there's nothing between the battery terminal and the end of this wire. That's why I'm getting power. And when you go to check things out, you just start running your wires, and you use this, and you see how far you can get before you lose your connection, and then you know what to look for. And in this case, I found a whole bunch of stuff. First of all, he replaced the key switch, and he got an aftermarket switch, and it is the wrong switch. The wires don't match up where they're supposed to. I've got a power wire that comes out here that's connected to the key. Now, you won't be able to see that, but when I touch that power, okay, I don't know if you can see, but it's on right now. But the key switch is off. It's in the off position. As soon as I put it in the on position, the light goes up. So he's got at least one wire crossed backwards. Now, I've already run that from the switch to a power switch here, and it goes to this position. When I turn the key off, on, I mean the light goes off. That means that it's wired backwards. Now here's the other thing, and again, it's sunny, you won't be able to see it. This is where the key, this key has the wire that comes from there and goes here. And when it puts power to this part of the solenoid, that connects the switch and makes the power go from one side of the solenoid to the other. A solenoid is just a switch. And basically when you put power to this, it just closes the switch and allows the current to run from one side to the other and go straight to the starter. And the reason probably that this solenoid is no good is because the switch is not the correct switch. The key switch he bought is not the correct switch. They come with different settings on them, on each one. And even though it was a 5-point and his harness plugged into it, the wires are in the wrong spot. And I know this, again, because when the key switch is on, there's no power. And when it's in the off position, that's when I have my power. So I'm gonna turn it off. I get my power back. Now watch what happens if you can see that. I don't know if you can see that, but he has full-time power to this solenoid. And this stupid thing has been giving me trouble today. But there's full-time power to this solenoid, which is probably why the solenoid is burned out. So I'm not going to change the key switch right now. Those things can run anywhere from $20 at your local hardware store to $50, maybe more for something original like this. So for right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, I've got a jumper wire. I'm going to take this wire off of the solenoid, this wire off of the solenoid, and this wire off of the solenoid. And I'm going to hook those three directly to the battery so that I can put power to the starter and I don't have to take screwdrivers and jump that. So I'll be back in a minute. Okay, so I hooked up the solenoid, the new one that I bought out of the pack, right here. You see the old one is there. New solenoid's here. This is the positive line from the battery. This is the positive that goes to the starter. And all these do right here, I used a jumper wire to hook up the ground straight to the battery. And I got another jumper wire that comes straight off the battery. And that goes to this switch, and that makes the solenoid pop, and that makes the starter go. Now the battery's dead because I've been working on it. Anyway, so because the switch is the wrong switch, and I've already spoken to the customer on the phone, I had to run a positive power line, another lead here with alligator clips on it. I ran it straight over there to the coil, hooked it up. That gave me my spark back. We were not getting any power from the switch to the coil, which meant we weren't getting any spark. So then I hooked up the spark, tested that, we were getting spark. I got excited. I thought we were good to go. I sprayed it with some fuel. It did not start. So I broke out my handy dandy compression tester, put it in the spark plug hole. We had zero compression, zero, which tells me that the valves are bad. We've got a broken valve, a stuck valve, could be a blown head gasket, could be a number of things. I spoke to the customer on the phone and he says we got to get it fixed. Unfortunately it's going to cost him quite a bit of money for me to do this. I've got to pull all the wires out of that switch and put them in the right spaces for him because the wire harness doesn't match the switch that was purchased. Switch. There's a kill switch over there I have to figure out. There's a bunch of stuff that needs to be rewired now. A new line that comes from the key to the positive side of the coil. I've got to take this new solenoid, take the old one off. I still have to test this switch because it clicks and spitters, but that's probably because we have crossed wires from the switch over there. There's quite a bit of stuff left to be done, but the next time you see this will be a second video, and that will be when all the electrical stuff is done, and I'll be able to explain what I did, how I did it, and why I did it. And if you like these old Allis-Chalmers, stay tuned. I'll do my best to answer any questions I can. See you soon.